Can a small business owner get a mortgage in today's market? Stay tuned and find out. Small business owners are notorious for writing everything off of their taxes. It's standard practice, it's expected. The problem is it can make life very difficult when it comes to trying to get a mortgage, and they really want to see how much income that you're really making. Your tax returns are required, but they're not helping. So what's a small business owner to do? To find out, I talked to the experts. Here's Ken Pitts with First Choice Mortgage Advisors. So Ken, how does a small business owner qualify for a mortgage?
So self-employed borrowers, there are some challenges that they have to make their way through. Just to give you just a few examples. Generally, their income is going to be averaged over the last 2 years, unless the most recent year is worse than the previous year, in which case they're going to go with the most recent year. So it's always the most conservative. Many business owners try and take advantage of the tax write-offs that their businesses provide. However, we're going off the adjusted gross income, not the gross revenue. So if you're a little too heavy on your write-offs in your business and it shows a light bottom line, unfortunately that can come back to haunt you when you're trying to do financing. So it's an analysis that we have to do on the tax returns. There are some things we get to add back in. If you have depreciation, depletion, or amortization, we get to add those back onto income. We also get to add back business miles driven. I'll get some folks that are self-employed truck drivers, and they may use a vehicle to get to and from the depots that they're going to drive. They get to write those miles off. Salespeople, people that have business where they're traveling quite a bit, they get to write those business miles off. We get to add half of that mileage right off back. So there are some areas that we can add back to income, but it's always a challenge with the business owner where they may make a significant amount of money on their gross revenues, but not show it on the bottom line going to them. And I've had people that, they have businesses where their gross revenues are $10 million, but they got creative in a particular tax year where they only maybe took home $120,000 because they were using different write-offs. I couldn't base it on the fact that their business was super successful. I had to base it on what they took home. So that's the trick and the hurdle that most self-employed's got to get over. COVID put a special little extra added hurdles in front of self-employeds. In particular, the way we have to document. We have to have profit and loss statements that are within 30 days of closing now. And that's an extra pain in the neck. It doesn't have to be done by an accountant, but it's still extra paperwork that a business owner has to come up with because they want to see that you're engaging in your business, that your business hasn't been affected by COVID. In addition to that, your business tax returns oftentimes have to have what's called a 4506 search done with the IRS to make sure that the transcripts that the IRS have, which is a synopsis of your tax return, matches the tax return that was given to us. I have people ask me that question all the time. Why do you have to get my tax transcripts? I gave you my tax returns. It's because we have to check what the IRS has against the tax returns that you gave us to make sure they match. And that can be a challenge sometimes when the IRS gets behind and they don't have those 4506 tax transcripts posted. So there's a few challenges that the self-employed have. In addition, with COVID, we also have to make sure that that there's been no effect to a loan that was given out to the company, that they don't owe money back for any of the PPP money that was put out there. So there's a number of different hurdles that self-employeds have to go through that because of COVID that they didn't have to go through before. Probably the last thing that I always caution business owners on, if you're incorporated, not so much if you're what we call a Schedule C, self-employed, doing business as, where your business returns on your personal tax return. If you have a corporation, an LLC, an S Chapter 1120S corporation, a C Corp, if you're using assets from your business account to purchase a home, that's really problematic. Because we then have to get an accountant involved. Your accountant has to write a letter that states that you pulling this money out of your business account is not going to negatively adverse the business. And there's a lot of accountants don't want to do that. They don't feel like it's their place to do that. They don't want to take responsibility for it. And so it gets very tricky. So it's one of the first questions I ask a self-employed borrower: where's your money coming from for the purchase? And if they say, oh, it's in my business, I'm like, hold it right there. Do not write a check out of your business for this. Take a distribution from your business. You're going to have to get taxed on it, but that's how you get the money into your account, and then write it out of your personal account. Because once you do it out of the business account, boy, it gets very complicated.
Thanks, Ken. That's a big help. By the way, you can check out this question and others on our blog at parealestateresources.com. Also, if you have a question that you'd like to have answered here, just send it to me. If your question gets answered on the video, I'll send you a $25 gift certificate. Thanks for watching, and make it a great day.